In this video on Google Sheets, I'm going to go over how to reference data in a completely different sheet or tab across the bottom, and how to reference or import data dynamically from a completely different spreadsheet. Let's get started. Now, before I've been working with this text formatting tab, and I had kind of a financial thing going on here. Here was my Lego budget, $400. Here's my Legos that I bought, $952, and you could see, of course, I was $552 in the hole. Let's format those as currency, and what I want to do is I want to change the Star Wars Legos bought. Right now, this is a hard-coded or a static number. It's not going to change. But we've seen before with my Amazon cart, this is the total amount that I'm buying. What I want to do is I want to make this number constantly be reflecting whatever this number is here. Now, it'd be easy to make a reference to another cell within this sheet. I'd essentially just hit the equal sign and then move it around as necessary. Well, that speed of light is actually a lot of money to have there. So that's really easy to do within this cell. But how do I make a reference to a cell in a different sheet? Well, kind of the same idea I did here. I'm going to hit the equal sign, and probably the easiest way is once it's waiting for the input, I'm going to go down here, and even though it's waiting for me to type in a number, I'm going to click on Amazon cart, and I want that cell right here. So I'm referencing the total amount that I have in that particular cart. I hit return, and now I'm importing that number. The nice thing is it's making a reference to a different cell, so if I update that, right now it's at $1,300. Let's say I wanted to buy a bunch of those Lego Death Stars. You'll notice that the number jumps here, but the number is also going to jump there to reflect this, so I made a reference to it. So let's take a look at how I'm actually making that reference. Normally it'd be just equals I4, but what I'm going to do is in between single quotes, I have the name of the sheet. So it's single quote, name of the sheet, Amazon cart, close single quotes, then an exclamation point. This is telling me you are making a reference to a different sheet, and I want to pull cell I4. When I'm going to do that, that is how the number is going to be imported into this sheet here. So I have a dynamic formula now that is making reference to another sheet. Let's try another one just for grins and giggles. I'll go back to my Amazon cart, and I'll keep my budget on a separate page, but here I want to know how much over budget I am. So in this cell here, I want to make a reference to how much I am over budget. So I'm going to hit that equal sign again, and I could type out the other cell that I'm trying to do, complete with the single quotes, but that's kind of a pain. It's just so much easier to just click, go over to where I need, and you can see it's still waiting for that input. And I'm going to click on this cell here. I want to import text formatting, that's the name of the sheet, E4. I hit return, and now I can see the amount that I am over budget. So let's change that. Okay, maybe I didn't need 5 Lego Death Stars, just the one would be good. So this number here was built up as the sum of those, and this one here is making a reference to a different sheet. It's making a reference to this sheet, which in turn was pulling this from here. So what I actually have is I have a double reference. This cell is being referenced to here, and this cell is referencing on back to here. And it's dynamic. Anytime I make a change to stuff, let's say my daughter doesn't want just one Disney Frozen toilet seat cover, she wants one for every bathroom in our house. That's going to be reflected in my total amount, which is going to be reflected here, which is going to bounce on back. That's the power of references within a very, very long spreadsheet. You can have lots and lots of different things all putting their data into one spreadsheet, making references between those different sheets. The last thing I'm going to show you is one of the most powerful and cool tools that you'll find in Google Sheets. This is something that is very difficult to do with Excel, but really simple with Google Sheets because it's naturally all online. I'm going to make reference to a completely different spreadsheet in a completely different file. The way I'm going to do that, I'm going to first create a new file. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to make reference to my Amazon cart. So let's rename my file. And what I want to do is I want to import this particular range right here. Anything that I'm putting in here, I want to appear in this sheet. I could, of course, just do this as a copy and paste. Select my cells here, go to here, and paste. The downside is that, of course, this is no longer dynamic. Each of these is just a list of what I had here. But what if I add something to this? What I want to do is instead of copying and pasting, I want to import a range. I want to import all of that data to here. I'm going to split screen this so we can see what I'm actually trying to do. I'm going to hit the equal sign to show that I'm doing an equation here, doing a formula, and I want to type import range. And it's of course going to pop up all that handy dandy little stuff. First thing I'm going to need to do is put in a spreadsheet key. The spreadsheet key sounds kind of confusing, but it's just a website for the other one that I'm going to try to do. To make it easier, I'm going to put 2 quotation marks here, and I'm just going to paste it in between there. I'm going to go up here, I'm going to copy that website, go between my 2 quotes, and paste. So you see it's really long and really complicated, so it's nice to put the double quotes first. Now, according to my next little formula here, I need to hit the comma. Now I need to put in the range that I actually want. Well, here it's given me the formula for what it actually needs to look like. So I need to put this in, again, in double quotes. So I'm going to put 2 quotes, and I'm going to type it in between here. It needs the name of the sheet. So the name of the sheet is Amazon Cart with a space. Amazon Cart. Then I need to do an exclamation point. And then it wants to know what range I'm looking at. And I want to do A2 to A10. And I end out my quote, and I'm going to hit return, and it's going to load. Now it's importing everything that I have right here over to here. This is the complete list of everything that I want. The hyperlinks don't go with it, but of course if I wanted to, I could just copy and paste those links as necessary. What makes this really amazing is how dynamic this actually can be. So I'm going to add in something on my Amazon cart here, and because it's importing this range right here, it's going to paste it in there. You'll notice when I typed it here, it popped it up over there right away. Let's say I change my mind. Ooh, I don't need that Death Star, or you know what? My son doesn't need that baby diaper tote bag. Let's get rid of that thing. When I make a change here, it's going to be reflected on here. This is now dynamic. Let's say I delete this. It's going to shift everything over here. That is the real power of Google Sheets. This is now a dynamic link. Anything that happens here is going to happen there as well. All of that done with that import range. So it's kind of confusing, kind of complicated to look at, but it's a pretty simple setup. You just type in between double quotes the URL of the spreadsheet that you're working with, then comma, then you need to reference whatever sheet you're looking at there, then the exclamation point, then the range, and then close the quotes. And you don't need to remember that. All you need to do is type out import range, and it's going to pop up this handy dandy little reference. If you want to even know more, it will tell you more. It will even give you some examples of how to import the data in between there. So import range, super powerful, a way of linking together the data between multiple Google Sheets. Very, very easy to do because everything's online and everything will be linked up and be dynamic.